to all you rad people out there from whatever rad time you're listening in whatever rad place. You know the drill. I'm Ryan.
And I'm David!
And we are together, R-A-D,
R-A-D, rad! So get rad with us, people. What's up? Oh, man. Ryan, we've had a couple music podcasts on here, and I've really enjoyed it, honestly. But the one today is quite unique in many ways. And it deals with a genre that is, I like to say it's quite novice in today's world, right? But it's growing at amazing rates nonetheless, right?
I think it's almost like viral. I think it's infecting every kind of aspect of life. Yeah, I know. Well, should we let the cat out of the bag? I suppose we're talking about electronic music.
We are talking about electronic music.
I know there was a long time in my life where I just said like, man, that's just a bunch of computers talking to each other and going bleep, 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 bloop. And I wasn't into it for a really, really long time. But then I finally did get into it, and I must say, I think there's a lot more to it than just little noises.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's much
Absolutely.
more complex, and I think there's lots to explore in electronic music.
Absolutely. For me personally, I mean, the number of sounds that you can hear versus the number of sounds that you can hear in a band, it's like, that kind of difference, honestly. In a band, you're limited to the instruments. With electronic music, I think not, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I guess it's probably the frontier of the 21st century in music, as far as music goes, right?
Absolutely.
And so I guess we should introduce our guests, huh? Well, without further ado, please welcome to the show Juan Jose Arango and Sebastian.
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Hi.
Everyone's doing well. Very cool. So, as always, you brought the topic, you bring the discussion. So, guys, Sebastian, I've really enjoyed talking about electronic music with you. And one question I've never asked you is, why? Why electronic music?
Hi. How are you doing today?
Oh, welcome. I'm doing fine. Thank you very much.
Doing
That's
great.
excellent. And you, Juan Jose, how are you doing?
Good, and you?
Excellent. Thank you. Okay, for answering the question, is that since I was like 6 years old, I liked to listen to different types of music, but one of them was electronic music. I started though like by hearing it and seeing what it includes. For example, watching festivals on YouTube and other things like that. One day, I like the idea came up to my head, like I really like this. I should like try it. So I start like searching in the internet how to start doing the things that I was seeing in the videos and everything like that. And then with the process of the years, I started buying like the implements that I need for first DJing. So I started DJing since I was 6. Then when I grow, like when I was 9 or 8 years old, I had the idea is that when I was DJing, I see and I was like, why didn't I like start producing my own tracks? Because I am playing a lot of tracks that aren't mine. I like what it will be like the feeling of playing one track that is mine from my production. So I also start searching in the internet, like the implements that I need, how to do it, what I should know. And I discovered that it's like a big word into it, because all like includes musical theory, sound design, musical structure, and all of that stuff that I didn't have in my head, that it was so like complicated and big to do this. Then I started producing in digital audio workstation called FL Studio. But then I went to another digital audio workstation called Ableton that I now using it that one. Yeah, I'm very happy there.
Nice, nice. That's a you have a really long history already in electronic music. You said you started DJing when you were 6?
Yes, Mister.
Wow. Okay.
That's
And Juan Jose, what's your story? Where's your connections start with this genre of music, and how are you involved?
Okay, so basically, I'm involved in all the creation of the videos of Sebastian's music. It all started when I was watching some YouTube videos and I started seeing some blaze motion videos. That is where like light starts surrounding a person. I don't know if you have seen it. It's pretty cool. So I decided to investigate how can I do that, and I arrived to the program that is called After Effects. That is where almost all the companies of audiovisual content make all his videos and start to create like something of nothing, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was young, also, I knew that Sebastian was into the music. And basically, now that I am older, I started taking it seriously and became more constant with the creation of the videos and started trying to improve my skills.
Wow. I really like both of your stories because they both sort of like show that you're kind of self-taught, right? I mean, it's not like you guys went to some kind of institute or did like any formal education. You guys were interested in this topic and you went out and found out kind of how to do it and started getting your feet wet and getting experience in it. That's really cool.
Yes.
Yes, Mister.
Guys, one thing, because I have some friends who are pretty big into electronic and DJing as well. Most of them, one or two are in the UK and the others are in the States. But that aspect of self-learning, that's what they all say. They say that DJing is a process of you learning, listening to the unique sounds that you produce. And I guess that's one of the rewards that you guys get from DJing as well. You are creating music, but unique sounds that can't be replicated in many ways with, let's say, a trumpet or a guitar or some other band musics. Do you find that it's these unique sounds that you create that kind of define your genre of where you want your electronics to go, for example, Sebastian?
Mister, yes, in terms of sound choices, for example, you choose a sound that you are going to use in your own track or sound design, everything like that, start like getting like the touch of yourself in your own track. So for example, in my tracks, I like to put like here, like techno, tech house, and here like some future house, and
Yeah.
I am like in the middle. I like in the middle. I like to like combine all of those, and for that reason, I like to do like some ambient or like atmosphere sounds for generating like that feeling to the person that is hearing it. But through the past of the years, I also like take into account that music is like not only music. For example, if you go to a festival, yes, the music is good, but what it like does like that feeling or that emotion to the people is not only the music, it's like all the part of the visuals, of the part of the LED fireworks, like the structure of the stage, everything like that gives like the persons like different certain of feelings during the moment. So that's why one of the reasons I like to work a lot with Juan Jose is because through him, I pass him my music, but through him, it like reflected into another way, in a way that he can like show it in a video with some. He says like he put like an spectrum that does like that, and a lot of things that I actually don't know, but he knows it. That's why I like to a lot. I like to work a lot with him, is because he has like the abilities to do all the stuff to make like the music feels different in a different way.
That's a good point. Because Ryan, I don't know. I've been out to a couple of clubs in my life, and there is always. It's not just the music. You're getting a visual sense as well, right? Like if I wanted just the music, I would go and see a band perform. But the visual element in electronic music, and I know this as well, it's a huge factor. I mean, it's a person who's stationary most of the time, and obviously moving the disc jockey and everything. But when I go to see a band play or a rock people play, it's a performance. Would you qualify it as a performance as well from your experience?
So that's one of the things that I was going to talk about. So because when we ask a person what do they understand as audiovisual content or AV, the most common answer will be like a video containing some music and that's it. But it involves too many things from that. Like it is a good definition, but the real definition will be like possessing both the music and the visual component that can be like slide presentations, films, televisions, or in a live theater or in a concert where you can see fireworks. That is also audiovisual content because that is reflected in like podcasts, what we are doing right now. So when you see in a video, in a YouTube video, a concert, you can see also the fireworks and all the stuff that they did. That is audiovisual content. So it is not just a video containing music. That will be like no sense actually. Because so another audiovisual expression is visual presentation of sound. That is visual music, and that was what Sebastian was talking. There's something called audio spectrum that is where you can see like the spectrum of the audio basically in the video. I don't know if you have seen that, like some rectangles going up and down at the rhythm of the music. That is a very important part of audiovisual creation.
Definitely.
Also audiovisual creators like frequently offer like web streaming, video conferencing, live broadcast, and also the podcast. And that is all considered as audiovisual content because right now we are doing a video and we're containing audio, and basically later we're going to show some music. That is like almost all the things that need to have an audiovisual content.
It's interesting because I think that you highlight something that's well, like we were saying, back when I was younger, I kind of didn't consider electronic music to be real music, but I think that was from a certain ignorance in my perspective, obviously, and I think sort of something similar is happening, like by now anyway. The DJ is definitely culturally, everybody knows what the DJ is, right? But I think it's interesting that the VJ is still a little bit hidden. It's something that maybe people don't really think about, or that when they are at a club or at a music festival or something like that, maybe they're not quite considering all of the very careful design in the visual production of the art. And one thing that really kind of opened my eyes to that was my wife, when I met her, was doing a master's thesis about VJs in Colombia, actually, specifically. And it was really cool because this also has an academic component, right? Which is something I think that we probably should talk about at some point during the podcast, because you guys are going to approach this also from an academic perspective, right? But yeah, the VJ is still sort of, if the DJ has really kind of, made his presence known, the VJ is still a little bit hidden, I think, or maybe it's not quite as understood maybe as the DJ. And I know, like, Georgina, when she did her thesis, it was still a very kind of undeveloped topic. Not a lot of people have been writing about VJs and visual productions. So really cool.
Yes. I want to like add something to the thing that you're saying, Mister. Is that, for example, nowadays you can see a lot of people calling like themselves DJs, right? Because how you said, it's like a popular thing, for example. But being a DJ is another big thing, meaning that, for example, DJing is not that easy as people think it is.
Mm-hmm.
For example, for DJing, how it should be done is by ear, beat matching the song, also putting it in the same BPM that is like the velocity. I don't know, like the like the velocity, the speed of the song. So for example, if you have one song that is in 128 and another that is in 126, by ear you should know that and try to match it also by ear, because one problem is that now like the devices that we have in today's like industry have like a little screen with that says here is in 126, here is in 108, and that is like not letting like the DJ that is DJing like learn something about it. So for example, I had to learn with a computer application called Virtual DJ. When I started DJing, I do it with that, and in that time that didn't set in what the speed was the song. So I had to learn in what the speed was the song, in which key was the song, if it was matched, like synchronized, and everything like that. Also, another thing is that now is the controllers have a button that you can just click and it matches everything. So actually, I think that that way, like the word of the DJ is like being like down, because people is like just doing like that thing that is making it easier, and the DJs that are trying to really DJ are not really learning about that.
You know, I'm guessing both of you boys will know the answer, but Ryan, if I were to tell you that there's more genres of electronic music than actual music, would you believe me?
Yeah, I have seen the family trees of electronic music, and it is pretty crazy.
Dude, I have my best friend. Now she's like, I mean, she does promoting for events. She does all the festivals anywhere in the U.S. She'll go up, travel one place to the other. But oh my goodness, I can't go out with her, even though she's a friend, because it's like, oh wait, is that acid jazz? No, I only like acid rock. And it's like, what? I don't understand you. Like what? But it's like, you know, there's some people who have that like niche-ness of what they like with electronic. And I'm guessing for you, Sebastian, with your DJing experience, you found yourself as you've actually explained at the beginning, a niche genre of electronic that you like to work between, right? Like between the dub and the techno. Am I right in saying that you said earlier, or what?
Like house and techno. Yes.
That's it. House and techno. Yeah, yeah. You like to work in that middle section. I think that's the unique thing about it, really. You know, it's that you find your niche, and you're not, you know, a rock band who's competing against 200 other rock bands. You might find your niche, and you're only competing against 4 or 5 other people within that niche, if that makes sense. Do you find that's kind of the competitive element in electronic music? Other people, not that they're DJs, because you have respect for their music as well as much as they have respect for yours, but that you might find someone who has a similar ear as you, and you might find yourself competing. I don't know. Is that something that you find relevant?
Yeah, actually, in the world of the DJs is seen that, for example, if you have like the same taste of music of another like DJ or producer, it turns like into a competition. Actually, I don't like to say it like that. I just see it because it is a lot of people doing like music nowadays, and there should be someone that have like the same taste of you there in the world. So you should respect that and work what you like, do what you like, and still doing it instead of like paying attention of the other is doing this. I should do that because he's no, I don't do that.
That makes sense. Makes sense. Very cool. You know, and sorry, go ahead, Ryan.
No, I was just going to ask Juan Jose if then similar dynamics exist within the visuals, because let's say that people have their certain preferences for music. I for instance, I can relate to what David said in that, like, I really like, or again, like it took a specific type of electronic music to get me interested. Like I got really into like dub and dubstep. Like I liked things that were really heavy and really hard and kind of slow and kind of, yeah, and like played with time. I like that's the first thing that I realized when I started listening to dubstep. I was like, wow, this is like, it's like taking a second and then like stretching a second into like 10 seconds. And it's like, whoa, how can you do that? And do you find, I don't know, do you find that the visual aspect has its own kind of, I don't know what I want to call that, nuances? Does it have its sort of, are people particular about what kind of visuals they like to see, and or what visuals go with what kind of music, things like that?
Okay, so we have to say that we are all residential audiovisual consumers, because basically the 95% of the time in our houses we're using audiovisual materials, like having in-ceiling speakers. So many people have that nowadays. Another that is not that common, like the LED dance floors. That is not that common, but some people has it. Flat panel TVs. Flat panel TVs that we all have in our houses, a flat panel TV. And that is audiovisual content, because you there see whatever you want, and it contains the addition of video and the audio. And also projectors or projector screens, I think it's called like that. So like when we talk in professional ambits, the professional audiovisual industry is just not a person producing a video and doing that like, oh, I went working by myself because I'm god of this. No, it all involves manufacturers, dealers, system integrators, programmers, presentations professionals, the promoters of the video, basically, and the technology managers that are like one of the most important. Like that is like my part. the technology managers are all that make the video, basically. Are they in charge of the video? And to get through the final product and the person like it. So when you ask, is there type of video that will like the most to people? No. We all see videos even though we don't like it. Unless we don't like what we hear, we don't see the video, basically. So it's not like, oh, today I'm going to watch a video of Blaze Motion Pictures and tomorrow I'm going to watch another of, let's say, waves, sound waves. No, that is not like that. Even though like the audiovisual industry is like very complicated, it's not that complicated as the music part that is catching the other people to listen what you create.
You know, Juan Jose, you seem quite knowledgeable about the audiovisual element, and I'm going to throw a name out there. Hopefully my Noveno students recognize the name because we did a TED Talk on it, but Dan Rosegard. Have you ever heard the name? He's a Danish fella. You got to watch out for him Danes. And I'm not talking about the Great Danes. I'm talking about those Danish fellas. But they, this guy, honestly, oh my goodness. I'm going to tell you about an invention that he came in. You both of you can share your opinion. Now, Sebastian, am I right in saying you need electricity to power your booth, right? The DJing booth. You need electricity, right? Now, for you, for the audiovisual elements, you need electricity as well, right? Yeah, interesting. Because this genius invented a dance floor that generates electricity. It's genius. Like, more people are raging, and obviously EDM dancing. I'm not too good at dancing, but I do know how to do EDM dancing because there's no real style. It's just jump around, throw your arms up in the air like you just don't care, you know? So
I saw that dance floor that it generates like energy with the people that is dancing in the dance floor to the DJ booth.
Yeah, Dan Rosegart's invention, and I have to say, knowing how much electricity goes into a club, dude, it's genius. Honestly, it's absolutely genius. You know, a self-efficient disco. Wow, like, you know, the dance floor is dying. Sorry, guys, back on it. We need to listen to music. So anyway, I figured I'd share that. I really, I'm still in awe, you know, and I've watched that video like several times in the past 2 years, but I'm still in awe. Just a dance floor that generates electricity. I mean, genius, honestly. Absolutely.
Yes, people have worked a lot with dance floors. Like, another people that have like an alliance with Turn Up did a dance floor for deaf people. So they like feel the vibrations through the dance floor and through things like that.
Oh, I like that.
I've heard about deaf raves before. Yeah,
Yeah. I did a what was it? I went to South by Southwest to do a reunion last year, and then I mean, lots of DJs, lots of events that they had. But one of the cool events that I went to with a friend was a virtual reality music video, and you had what was it? Sandstorm playing in the background. So it was like dun dun dun, and you know, you're in this 3D. You know, like virtual reality music video, and it's like, whoa, am I part of this now? Am I part of the music video? And it's like, yeah, you are the music video. It was crazy, honestly. It was crazy. I was like, whoa, where am I right now? Sometimes I question if I'm in the Matrix. That's another discussion for another day. Oh, man.
Yes,
entering into an interesting field for sure, because I think there's a lot to be explored and to be developed in it.
I've done those. What was it that I did as well? Those silent raves. Have you guys ever done those? Put the earphones on, and it's like after hours at a festival or something, and you're just like, but then you take your earphones off, and you're like, what? No, this doesn't feel right to me right here. Yeah, but you can like put your earphones, change the tune. Yeah. Oh.
So why don't you guys tell us a little bit about because you guys are planning to research this topic now for your senior project and really kind of get into the more formal aspects. So why don't you see if you can give us a little bit of an idea of where you want to take that? Because I'm super interested. I kind of I owed myself a reading of your paper today, but I didn't get around to it. So I was like, it would be really nice to not walk into this thing without knowing anything, but that's where I am. So how do you guys want to approach this in an academic way? And how's that going to work?
So, like the massive involvement of audiovisual communications technologies, it includes sound, video, lighting, projection systems, and basically is evident in every sector in society, even though we can see it in business, education, that we are trying to go that path mostly, even in the government, the military, sports, restaurants, museums. So our senior project can have like a base where how the music and what the person is seeing can affect like his emotions and how he reacts of something, basically. So in the school, like the application of audiovisual systems in a school, like nowadays, let's talk about nowadays, is conferences. We all use Zoom, TeamLink, Google Classroom to go to our classes, basically, and to continue learning because about the situation we're living. That also affects like the person and his personality, how he acts, because now it's more like about paying attention and seeing what the teacher in this case is trying to show us, than more than just go to a classroom and sit there and do what they put you in the board. You see?
So really like about the kind of like exploring the design of experiences. Then I think that's amazing things is I think I realize how much of our work is so very carefully designed. I think we I don't know why, but I think we think that a lot of things just are or just
They just blossom
or
out of
that
the
just
blue. Yeah, but they don't.
appear. Right, right. And it's hard to appreciate really how much work goes into every single little thing that you see, right? Because the work is invisible. But I guess maybe that's and then what's the intention behind that design, right? Because as you said, it's about it affects the way that we feel, it affects the way that we live, it affects the way that we exist in the world, right? That's kind of what I'm getting from your idea. I like the idea of the project a lot. It sounds really cool.
No, it is. It is. Because I do feel, I mean, when I listen to electronic, and don't get me wrong, I do my dishes all the time with electronic music because they ain't getting done if I don't. But it's like, I feel like this quicker beat of my heart. I feel like I'm doing things quicker, and it's like I have to listen to electronic music when I do something as simple as doing the dishes, quite frankly. But it's an interesting component that you guys are bringing up. Yeah.
Well, you guys are going to share something with us, right?
Yes, Sebastian wants to share like some of his projects, and me also. I'm going to share another of my projects of last audiovisual content I'm creating now.
Cool. We'll go right ahead.
Okay, so now I'm going to share the screen to you of one of my recent projects called Takeover that will be released on October 12th of this year on all the digital platforms. So wait. You can see it there.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
It's complex.
Okay.
I feel
So
like a
here,
jigsaw puzzle. Oh,
here
man.
here in this part, I like to divide my projects in different like parts. So here we have the percussion part, the MIDI part, that is the part where I do like all the melodical part, sound design, and everything like that. Then we have like the effects that help like building the energy to the track. And also in this project, I have little vocals from Tupac.
Tupac.
Yes, that he has like a song that's called Gangsta Paradise, I think, and here is like the vocal.
Ain't no heaven for a thug nigga.
Wait, sorry, there,
Ain't no heaven for a thug nigga.
there. Sorry. Um, but yes, so in what I want to show is like the part of sound design and everything like DJs do. So for example, here in the second part of my song, you can hear like an atmospheric part, where is this part here. Wait. There it is. As David said, here I have like a little like heartbeat. So yes, here is like the sound alone. What I did is that I put an EQ. Here is like the EQ, taking out some frequencies of the sound because it was too harsh. A little filter here that is like for this part. A reverb and the sound itself. So for example, here is like the sound without all the effects. But is that I did a thing to this sound is that I do like a little sound design there, and the sound itself, like with nothing done, is like this. What I did is what I take like that little delay that it has, and like filter and I do another things, and yes. And the drop also like this. That is like what I wanted to show to you.
It's like the whole evolution of a sound from the most basic to the after you put all of those different effects and everything else on top of it.
Yeah, what I actually do for the starting my tracks is that I start with this, with only the percussion and the bass. So I start like this.
Oh,
And
man,
then,
you killed my jam right there. Oh, man. Okay.
Just getting into it, man.
I was just getting bumping. All right.
For example, while we were talking before, here you can see all the percussion things that I have on that. But David like said this earlier, that for example you only hear percussion and that's it. You don't like imagine a lot of things going on inside of the like the percussion part of the song. Then from here I did this sound. and that is like the one that is for the first drop. Okay. Wait, that is a little bit laggy.
Oh, you keep killing my vibe, man. Just as I feel the beat, you just bam, kill the switch.
I also turn off the vocals because it has a bad word, so I turn it off.
Okay, that makes makes better sense.
And yes, that is like the whole project.
Nice. And so then the idea would be to let's say complement or also then include the visual aspect of these songs. So is that going to be one for the project for next year, or is that just something that you're working on right now? And
Will be for that will be included in our live and what we're expecting to do, and also in our project. So now I'm going to share what's my part of the job.
Cool.
Can you see?
Yes.
Okay, so I am more like a simple man, not a Sebastian that likes to divide all the stuff. I'm more like chill out and do what I know what to do in the most simple way. So basically, I have this image that needs to be a logo of my personal project. I got this that is the audio of the song, and this that is called solid. That this is where I do the part of the effects, the audio spectrum. So basically here you can see what it takes to make this audio spectrum that is shown here. So when the music shows, you can see the little changes, because I like to be like the little changes of the waves that form like the spectrum of the audio of the song. So what this involves is taking this solid and disappearing that. And for the spectrum of the audio, we select like the audio of the song, in this case, my song. So I select it. And then I start to move these parameters so I can do like where I can put the stuff where I like to be. If I wanted more up, if I wanted more down. Basically, I most common use 995 in all my projects because I think it's a good space between the image and the part that doesn't see of the video, basically. We have frequencies also, as in music, in audiovisual production, we also have frequencies. And most important in this part of the audio spectrum. Because if without these frequencies, these waves can go up to here, or can just be like little as this and cannot be seen by the person. So we decide the frequency that we need to work with, and we start playing with that parameters. As we like it more bigger, we use more frequency, and if we like lower frequency, that works easy. The good part, and what I like the most basically, is here that this is called interpolación de tono, sorry. I don't know how to call that in Spanish, in English, sorry. And it's because this part makes this wave change of color while the music sounds. So basically, if the sound is higher, like higher tones, it shows another color. Like in this case, will be like purple.
And the English is polarization of tone. Yeah.
Polarization of tone. Thanks. And with the bases of the song, will go more like a blue and greens. Yes. So that is what I play the most in all the songs. So basically, you see, I have here in the project like blue and purple colors. So I use two colors that are same and are in the parameter of that color. Basically, the blues, the light blues and dark blues are too much approach to the purples. So I use that two colors as my initial colors, and then with this tool, what I do is to take it about to 100 minus 100 minus 72. So it will change with the audio and all the waves, the frequency that it has. And at last, so we can see like this part all only and not the other part of the back, because normally it's like this. You see, you can see it like then and you reflect like down. But what we like is to see only the part of the that is called side A. And basically, wait, I'm going to show you how's the final product.
Are you going to play the song?
Ryan, while I was looking at that, the first thing that I thought about, Ryan? This guy should have been doing our video editing from day one. Oh my goodness. Absolute talent and skill. Instead, here I am doing video editing for the podcast, but oh my goodness, to have used your skills, honestly, for this would have been absolutely dynamite.
So this will be like almost the final product. You can see the waves moving and changing of color when the frequency changes of the music. I don't put the music because this is like something that is not released already, so it's like secret, basically. So as you can see, this is the final project and what an audiovisual producer is looking for to attract the people. To say like, wow, how did you do this? Or I like the colors, they match with the image I'm seeing. Or the persons that play in bars that you can see in some bars, in clubs, that they just put the music video there, and almost all the music videos are like this. So that's why this type of music videos with audio spectrum are like the most attractive to the people.
Very cool. Yeah, I realized that my microphone was turned off, so I was just gonna piggyback on your comment there, man. Yeah, if we can get a budget for season 2 of the podcast.
Oh, dude, season 2, man. Like we know
hire you guys.
Yeah, we will hire you guys. You guys will be employed under a time of like economic uncertainty, and there you guys are employed for one of the greatest podcasts that LTSM has ever seen. Can I get an Ayo? Ayo.
Ayo.
Anyway.
So guys, one of the things that I really, really like when I listen to you guys talk about this is there's a word that keeps coming up, which is play. And I think that's really, really cool because, well, obviously we play music, but you guys are basically finding a way to play and to enjoy yourselves and to do something, and also finding a way to fit that into your academic and your professional life. And I think when you can do that, I think you're creating a pathway to like a happy life, because if you can really make what you love into your profession, well, congratulations, guys.
Yeah.
You're already on a great path.
And I think it's pretty cool because like Sebastian complements my work. Basically, the video I show, Sebastian produced the music, but we can't show it because it's not released and all that stuff. And it's like we complement because Sebastian helps me with the part of the audio what I like to show to people when they hear. With the hearing, what we want to the people hear to listen. And I'm in charge of showing the people what they want to see, because all the people enjoy like seeing that type of videos.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that we both complement each other's work. Is that, for example, audio and all the visuals and videos that Arango does, it like all came together to like a full work or like a proper like masterpiece.
because we have to be like we have to talk like the truth. You wouldn't like to put a music song and don't see a video, like just a black screen there. That will be like, oh, this is somehow boring. So that's like one of the most important parts of doing audiovisual production. Like if the music itself catches you, the video has to get you completely. That's what we're looking for.
Well, it's really cool that you guys have found each other and you can complement each other in those ways. I mean, that's again, very, very lucky to find those types of relations at a young age too. So very cool. And I feel like you know, many years in the future, somebody might find this video on YouTube. You know, maybe me and David will be famous, and maybe not. But maybe they'll find you guys, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, this is like the first interview with Sebastian and Juan Jose. Wow!"
Right? That's how it'll be. It'll be like, wait a second. Oh my goodness, in their youth, like, dude, have you ever seen celebrity pictures in their youth? I'm like, what? Nah, what? Nah. Really? Nah, I don't believe it. Don't believe it for a second. Oh man.
Very,
So,
very cool.
Very cool, guys.
Hopefully.
Yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. And well, you know, I have to say, I am astonished that you guys have such a and when I say this, and I mean it sincerely, you know I have some friends who are DJs, and I know some people that like to play with audio visuals, but I do mean this sincerely. You guys really do have some really good talent. So channel that talent, project it into the future, you know, but I really like what you guys are doing. It's really cool, guys.
Yeah, and I really appreciate the explanation about you know, the academic future for this project. I think you guys are, again, really smart in finding a way to make your, you know, your interests and your needs come together, and that's what everybody should be doing. So congratulations, and thank you guys. I don't know if there's anything else that you want to say to the audience before we wrap up.
No,
I think that's all.
All right.
Well, guys,
Cool.
then
Thank you.
you heard it. Remember, you heard him here first.
On the Rad Show, people. So get rad with us. What up?
Yeah, thanks for coming on and being rad with us today, guys.
Yeah.
And a future challenge again to all you students out there. When you've got rad to show us, this is the place. This is the place to show.
Rad Show. All right. Wickedy. On that note, let's take it out. You've been watching The Rad Show, and we thank you for watching.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.